Hey there, it's Pete. Hope you're having a great day today. So I got my first car, was a 92 hatchback deep emerald green. Absolutely loved that car. That kind of started the whole Mustang craze. Of course, I got it back in 92. Honestly can't remember exactly how I got started in the street racing, but once I started, it absolutely blew up. You know, when I was that old, I really didn't have any extra money, so it was pretty much bone stock cars, and if you had a set of pipes and pulleys, and oh man, if you had a gear, you were just lightning fast compared to everybody else. But my car, for whatever reason it was just one of those cars, when it come off the lot, it was just a very good running, very strong car. And I was out running cars with pipes and pulleys and gears, and I didn't have nothing done to mine really. I kept winning races and winning races and winning races, and I hate to call it sport because it's not. It was highly illegal to drag race on the road. It had gotten really, really big in our area. I mean, people would come from all over the place to, do drag racing, street racing. Somewhere along the lines, I picked up the nickname Sandman. Honestly, I cannot pinpoint exactly where I got that name at or why they even called me that. I heard one guy say one time it's, the Sandman, the dream guy or whatever. He'll put them to sleep. Maybe that's why I picked up the name. I don't know, because I just won so many races, and people were starting to know who I was and who my car was, that the nickname just kind of fit. So again, I don't really know where it come from, but it stuck. Even to this day, 20 some years later, my wife and I, or me and the kids and the wife, can go out and eat somewhere or go shopping or, just out and about. And it never fails. Someone will come up to me and say, "Ain't you the Sandman?" And, that'll kind of spark a whole conversation about drag racing and that kind of thing. So I sold my 92 hatchback and immediately turned around and bought a 93 Reef Blue Coupe. And of course that car was considerably different. I've done quite a bit more work to it. It was a very fast car, especially for that time period. Man, I wish I had some pictures of my Reef Blue Coupe because it was gorgeous. It had the whaled racing wheels, the bullet hole racing wheels. I think they were 8 or 10 inch on the back and a little 3 inch on the front. It just looked like a drag car. It had the roll cage in it, and it was really sweet looking. But unfortunately, I don't have any pictures of it. And I honestly can't remember why I sold it. This has been a long time ago, but I did, and kind of got away from drag racing. And of course, then that's when I kind of made some life changes and gave my heart and life to Jesus, and totally and completely forgot about my past. And life went on. I got married, had kids, and I got to a point in life to where I felt like I could control my addictions, and I feel like speed was one of those addictions, and pumping gears and that thrill of you and the other car going down through there. And we used to race back on this old country road, long straightaway. I had one that was about a quarter mile long, and then back up the street from it was about 1/8 of a mile. They call it the short end and the big end. And there would be cars lined up on the sides of the road, sometimes dozens, sometimes several hundred people lined up and down the side of the road. Incredibly dangerous. Now that I think about it, I'm extremely fortunate and blessed that I'm not dead or I didn't kill someone on the way. But you get to a point in life where you're a little more mature and you're kind of mellowed out a little bit, and I feel like I was at that point. And I told my wife, I said, "You know what, I think I want another car." I started looking around, and of course I wanted a Fox body coupe. Originally I wanted a black on black and just could not find one anywhere. But I landed on a 93 coupe that was royal blue, and it had a Keith Craft 306 with a C4 and a Vortec blower. Pretty fast car. Kept that car for maybe 9 months roughly. A car like that's technically not a daily driver. It didn't have air conditioning on it. All that had been removed. And time went on, and I got to thinking, this is just not what I want. So I made the decision to sell it. So I started looking for another car once I sold my blue 93, and I wanted a black on black coupe, 93, 92 model, either one would work. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. The ones you find that are dogged out and ragged out and been on the track a million times, and the ones that you find that are in super nice condition, if you can find them, they literally want an arm and a leg for them. So I was talking to one of my buddies that I'd done the majority of my racing with, and he was telling me about the new models. I think this is called a Coyote motor. I've been out of this for a long time, so if my terminology is off, I'm sorry. And he was telling me about those and how off the lot they come with 450 horsepower, 460 I believe, and they're incredibly fast straight off the showroom floor. And at first I was like, no, I don't really want that. I want my Fox body. I want my old school. And the more videos I kind of watched and researched it and looked at it, I got to thinking, talking to my wife, and I was like, you know what? This would actually be the daily driver. You can literally get in it and drive it to the beach in the air condition and have a high horsepower car and have some luxury like leather seats and heated seats and things like that. And you can actually hear the radio going down the road because it's not super loud like my old Fox bodies were. So that's what made me start looking for a new model. And this is a 2021. And I'd have to say I'm thoroughly impressed. When I compare this to the Fox body, no, you really can't compare them, to be honest with you, because they're two totally, completely different cars. But for what I wanted to suit me and my wife and my family, we ended up going with a new one versus getting an old Fox body and, kind of doing it up like I wanted to. This is a 10-speed automatic, by the way. I got that because I just didn't want to change any more gears. And from what I understand, the 10 speed's actually a little stronger than the straight gear. Plans down the road for the car is I'm definitely going to change the wheels. I'm not a fan of the factory wheels. We'll lower the car just a little bit. I don't want anything crazy, squatting down on the ground. I hate that look. I want it sitting a little bit lower, but not much lower from factory. Suspension work to transfer weight to the back. I'm not necessarily worried about suspension work to handle curves. It's more of straight stretch drag racing. And of course, the motor and transmission, my end goal is 1,000 horsepower. But it has to be a daily driver, meaning I can get in and drive it to the beach. And that's 4 hours one way, in the air condition without things overheating and getting out of whack and that kind of thing. So I'm thinking Whipple supercharger, maybe twin turbo. I don't know yet. That's a pretty good little ways off, so I have to really do some research on that and figure out which way I want to go. But at the end of the day, that's what I'm looking for, is somewhere around 1,000 horsepower, maybe even a little bit more than 1,000. That I can daily drive anywhere I want to go. I can drive it to church, grocery store, drive it to the beach, or the mountains, wherever, and have 1,000 horsepower whenever you want it. I think that'd be pretty cool. And again, that's really the main reason I went this route over the Fox body, is because in a Fox body, that is extremely difficult to do. Hey, I appreciate you watching. I'll check you later.